We're from this um from the past live stream, which was the Monday Night Raw and the Eagles and Chargers game. The Eagles and Chargers game is still going on, but I'm gonna be watching as well the John Cena interview. So I don't know if I'm able to show the screen, so I'm not going to do that. But y'all will be able to listen to the John Cena interview. If you want to watch it live with me, you can watch it as well on the WWE channel on YouTube. It's on right now. You can rewind all to the beginning and then listen to what John Cena says. So let's just get started right here. Hey guys, hello. How are you? This yes, perfect. How's everyone? How you doing? Oh, real great. Pleasure. Thank you, John. Thank you for doing this. Good. You're coming from? Setting autographs. Okay. This is riveting. Watching me get like it's riveting. It's gonna make the movie. How is everybody today? Good. How are you feeling? Good. All right. Yeah, I really appreciate you doing this, John. Oh, thank you. Man, go all the way out there and do it. Thank you. Appreciate it. I have the world's greatest gig, and having a chance to have conversations like this is a really prime feature of it. Yes, we might be tied for first place. I don't know. Your gig's pretty good too. But John, I'll pop around. Some of it will be about your life, your journey. A lot of it will be. Some of it will be about your career, etc. So ask whatever you want. Okay. I think I've asked this question to people, John, who are really accomplished in what they do and achieve a profile and a degree of success through a passion, through something that they love, which you have done. What is the difference between what you do and who you are? I'm trying to think of the best way to answer this. One might say, or a school of thought might be, we are defined through our actions. But there's no possible way, or even the most intimate connection, to see all my actions. So it's weird, I am defined by my actions. But your question, I'm taking for... Hold on, 12:56. I'm trying to see real quick if... Okay, so... Yeah, I'm just gonna... Maintaining and understanding that difference, especially as a profile and a character grows and becomes as iconic as the character that you've created. So I actually think it's not difficult. I think once you realize it, it's quite easy. Once you realize that what I do does not define me. The perspective someone has of any effort I put out there is theirs. It's not mine. So as long as I know who I am, when I look in the mirror, I don't need to be pigeonholed or held down or defined by simply just this, or a successful acting role, or a funny joke I've told, or sure, it is a facet of what I'm capable of, but it's not me in totality. So I think it's actually quite easy when you realize, like, oh, this isn't me. So if someone else's perspective, which I can't control, changes, that's also okay. What is success as you define it? As you sit here now. Okay, that's a good question. I want to answer all these questions with questions, but I don't want to waste your time. No, not at all. Not at all, John. What would be yours? For me, it's to know that I'll give you a micro and a macro. That's great. The micro, John, would be
and to know that I fail at this a great deal. Did I get the most out of what God gave me that day? Mm-hmm. Meaning, did I fill others up the way that I had the opportunity to? And did I also empty my cup of time for that day in ways that matter to me and that add to others? And I fail at doing that a lot. Macro, uh, I think it's not only to feel like I led a full and a varied life, but it's that I maximized the curiosity that I carried as a boy, because life does its best to really limit that curiosity in so many ways. I thought what was really interesting was you outlined what is successful for you. And then when you put forth your guidelines, you followed it up with, I fail a lot at that, right? Because I share a lot of the same track that you put down. To me, success is simply just fulfillment that you did the best with life. And however, that's gonna be different for anyone. I know what my lane is. I use the term earn the sunset a lot. Yeah. But that also doesn't mean be this nuclear reaction of productivity. If we look at analytics, the way we grade people, fail is 59 and below. Success is 60 and up. That's success below average. Success starts at 60 and works its way to 100, which is exceptional. To say you fail a lot, I think you probably have a couple C minuses in there, maybe a few D pluses. Me trying to earn the sunset, there's a whole lot of D minus days. There's some D plus days. There's some C minus days. There's a lot of B days. There's very, very few A plus days. But when you get an A plus, it means something. And it sets a standard. And maybe you're like, oh man, maybe I can try to push a little further than that. What would an A plus day be for you, John? Those moments where you're filled with the euphoria that is life. It's like indescribable. That's the best way I can describe it. That lasting for 24 hours. Or that lasting as long as I can until exhaustion that I have to close my eyes. Gosh, like my wedding is a day that I can say like A plus day. But that also came with tremendous preparation. I haven't had too many A plus days spontaneously. You know, I've had tons of spontaneous A plus moments, even in like the worst of times. But those A plus days usually have to come with a lot of work. So it's like you don't realize the work you're doing now to, one, define your values, two, try to walk the talk, which is extremely tough. Yeah. And then three, reflect on it and be like, well, am I living that way? Are these values really important to me? Or did I just get them out of a grab bag or from somebody else's motivational quotes? Like, that all takes work, man. So I think success to me is just earning the sunset, feeling fulfilled, and being gracious enough to grade yourself, where a failure is a 59 and down. Why do you think
that's facts?
For so long, people have rooted for you? Are we watching the same thing? Has he not seen the thing? Like, would you dispute that characterization? I would, John. I would strongly dispute that. Why? Because I've been in front of what the WWE calls polarizing audiences.
Hold on. Before we get back to the interview, holy shit. The Eagles are really winning right now, 16-13. Let's go, Eagles. I'm sorry, let's go back to the interview.
So,
the Cena Winfrey, right? I remember that.
I don't have a good answer for why anyone is interested in what I do.
From ECW Night,
because I want to streamline it to give people more of that. I wish I had a great answer for it. And I'm glad I don't think about it because I think we can get lost in trying to give a consumer what they want instead of just swinging big and being authentic. Which I think taps into, a potentially deep vein, John, which I think is pretty fascinating.
Yo,
Again, this
yo,
is a
yo, yo,
weakness of
yo.
mine without doubt.
I'm sorry. I just what's the
Whose
game?
approval matters to you? So, the answer would change over the years. Sure. Whose approval matters to me today? Certainly got to run it by my wife because she's my partner. She's the one person that we run a three-legged race. So her, and that's it. And me. Like, I have to be okay with what I'm doing. And I think the biggest, most troublesome patches in my life are when I have given my approval to other folks and still executed the deed anyway. And they're like, man. But those are great learning experiences. What's an example, if you're willing to share, of that, John? I just think, man, it could be something as simple whereas in like, when I was a sophomore in high school, a bunch of kids were.
Oh my God, that was him.
A bunch of kids, and I had just come off getting my ass kicked every day and being made fun of. I didn't want to be that guy, but I started being the cool kid. So I said something just to join the group, and it wasn't within me to say it. And as soon as the words came out of my mouth, I wanted to take them back. And thank goodness that there was a grown-up involved just passing through who happened to be a disciplinarian of the institution I went. I was actually a junior. It's like, you, office, now. Sat me down. He's like, tell me why I don't kick you out of school. And I said, sir, I can't give you a good answer for that. He said, what I saw wasn't you. Wow. Let's not let that happen again. And it was like serendipitous. But that's an example of it. I just tried to fit in with the group because for the first time in my life, I was getting some social acceptance, and that feels good and rewarding. And I did something against my values, and somebody called me on it. Thank goodness they called me on it. But early on, I was like, all right, I didn't want to do that anyway. These kids will probably still hang out with me for being me, and if they don't want to hang out with me for being me, then forget it. There are turning points, John, in anyone's journey, and you've had obviously multiple turning points. I just wanted to pick a few that I've either heard you mention or that I've read about. Sure. One that I heard you mention, which was really striking to me. There was a point where you believed you were going to join the military. Yeah. You were going to join the Marines. What happened? I got lucky. And I don't say that as a career in the military as a bad thing. I think I would have been great. I basically... So I grew up in a small town, the very short story. I got a lucky opportunity to go to a preparatory school, which widened my scope. It ignited my curiosity. From there, they encouraged me to go to university, which was a larger pool where my curiosity was even wider. Then, in my 4 years of discovering myself as a completely formed brain, I was like, man, I should travel more. I should go out to the West Coast and try to apply my degree because it was in health and fitness. And at the time, this is 1999, everything went through Los Angeles. So I went out there to try to apply the piece of paper I got and failed at every corner. I just wasn't a good fit. So then I began to evaluate myself of what are my skills? What do I feel I'm strong at? And I do like uniformity. I loved being an athlete because it was schedule. I loved discipline. I loved the value system. Tried being a cop, failed the test. So the military seemed like a great answer because the Marine Corps base was in San Diego, and I could drive down there and get in. And I'm like, man, they probably won't turn me away. I was 22. I was 235 pounds, and
damn, he looked so jacked.
I felt good,
holy.
And I loved everything they stood for. I knew I would be fed. I knew I would be paid. I knew it would be an adventure. But I also knew I would train. I'd always have a place to work out. I wouldn't have to worry about being stylish. There were so many things that lined up with what I envisioned myself as being proficient at the time. And the weekend I was going to join, a friend was like, man, you seem to talk a lot about wrestling. We trained down in Orange County.
That same weekend?
The weekend I was going to join. He's like, would you ever think about doing it? And I delayed my trip. I said, I'll check it out. And I remember when we pulled into LA Boxing in Orange County, I saw the ring through the glass. And I was like, man, I will work any job I need to make this my weekend hobby. Like, it became my boat. I use that reference because my brother loves to spend weekends on the boat. That became my boat of like, okay, the suck is working 9 to 5. It's something I don't want to do, so I can be my own boss and be this superhero on the weekends. And so I started in the business very lucky. Like, it found me in the last seconds of decision making, and I did it as my boat, as my hobby. Not like, oh, you're a big dude, you're gonna make a killing in this business. I just liked working flea markets and barbecues. It was fun.
What was it about looking through that window, seeing that ring, John?
I think it was the same feeling I got the first time I got handed my first helmet at 15 years old to play football. It's like, this is possible. There was no football in West Newbury. Yeah. I didn't touch a football, like, to play until I was 15. But at 15, when you get your first pads, your jersey, and your helmet of like the Kentucky green with the white face mask, this is real. And when I saw the ring, it was like, I'm going to walk through that door and this is attainable. It became real. It was not a sort of fantasy. And WWE does a great job of pointing people in the right direction nowadays. 26 years ago, it was a very protected carnival business of like, I'm not telling you how to do this because I'm going to protect what I have. And it was very secret. And there was still, the business is kind of based off of fraternity. Mm-hmm. So it held the secrecy of a fraternity. And nowadays it's great because we can get the best of people. But then I really wish it would, everything happened for a reason, but it would have been so easy for me to find the place. Because the school that Triple H was trained at, was like 25 minutes from my house. Growing up, and I never knew it was there.
Oh, really?
The Killer
Kowalski School was like 25 minutes from where I grew up, and I never knew it was there.
I'm going to get to the next turning point, but I'm a fan of points again in anyone's journey, John. What would you say was your lowest point?
Man. I think when those moments that I emotionally don't feel, not only not good enough, like I feel worthless. And those have happened, this is not too often. That's great. But man, anytime, like I just can't get out of my own way, those are probably my lowest points. And that has nothing to do with economic success or fictitious title or anything. Those moments have happened to me along my journey in every chapter of the book, but they've been a paragraph, and I'm very, very fortunate for that.
What's one you'd be willing to share?
Man, I think those gotta remain for me. Yeah, I think those gotta remain for me.
I understand.
Yeah.
Another point. Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah.
Hearing you on the bus.
Yeah.
What happened?
We all tell our own story. Like,
very smart disclaimer.
So, but her view of that will be different than mine.
Sure.
Anybody who I was rapping on the back of the bus with, it'll be different for them.
But for you?
For me, I was supposed to be fired from the WWE. They would do cuts like every Christmas time and every spring, every year, no matter what. And I knew the holiday cuts were coming up, and they debuted me on TV as like the poster boy for ruthless aggression, and I just didn't connect with the audience because I wasn't authentic. you asked about a time where I let someone else curate my experience that was tough for me. This is what I can share with you. As a young performer in the business, when I was always me. Even when I was the stupid half robot, half man gimmick, it was me out there. And when I moved to Kentucky, I was courageous enough to be me, even in the face of people who didn't like where I came from. But I earned their trust through being authentic. And then all the skills that got me to the grand stage, I put them away and just fell in line and did what I was told. And that caused me to almost get fired. And one of the things I was told was open your ears and shut your mouth. Great advice, especially when you're not the smartest guy in the room. And I hope to never be the smartest guy in the room. But great advice.
Coaches have told that to me before. I'm not even joking.
So I did that. But that's all I did, was just observe. And I was never bold enough to show who I was. And you don't necessarily have to prove your worth to your coworkers. But our coworkers are all creatives. They're all performers. So maybe they see you do something and they're like, hey, you should try that on TV. And I know that that's true because I can't tell you how many times I've done that to performers. Like, where's that guy? I'm entertained. You're holding my attention. Put that guy on TV. I don't know. I've seen it. I've seen myself through the other lens.
So in that moment, where were you and what was happening?
So we were on a European tour. It would be my final tour before I was let go. And the WWE was like, they're so great about it. They kind of let me know, like, hey, this isn't working, right? Yeah, it's kind of not working. Your name is on the list of people we're thinking about putting on the cut list. I just want you to know. To that last little dig of like, hey, man, show me something. Like a good coach would. And I thought this was kind of it, so I don't have to mind my P's and Q's. And the back of the bus, that's the only time we all travel together. So again, serendipity of like the only time when we go overseas is the only time we travel together. Other than that, you're like with the person you ride across the country with, or you travel yourself or whatever. So we're in a rare instance where we're all together. Or even more rare instance where we're all together and we're filming a TV show. Because back then we used to go overseas for like 20 days and 18 of those would be non-televised events. So the math is even thinner that like it's a TV day. And the boys start rapping in the back of the bus, and the front of the bus is the head of creatives for TV. So I'm sitting there and I'm listening. I'm like, man, that's something I used to do in college and high school. Like,
I know you were a big hip hop fan.
I could just get in there right now. Like, nah. And then finally I was like, shut my laptop, went back, just stuck my head in the circle, and came right around to me, and I just kind of said what was on my mind. And it went for like 4 minutes. And everybody was like, man, I like ripped on everybody on the bus. And when we got off the ride, Stephanie was like, how did you memorize all that? I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's freestyle. You try to just come up with something quick. That's why some guys only go for, a rhyme or two, and that's why some guys can go longer, and some guys are creative. She's like, would you mind doing that on TV? And, of course, that's a moment where be bold. So, of course, I said, like, yes, this is it. This is a chance for me to be authentically myself. Because going back to your question about what I do doesn't define me, I was a fan of hip-hop, and I still love, like, my era of hip-hop. But that isn't totally me as a human being, but that's the one facet. That's the way I could connect with the audience. The program was very hip-hop deficient. I figured people would hate a gangster from West Newbury, Massachusetts, trying to come out and be this character. So I'm like, okay, if I would hate that, I think it would get people to hate that. Like, man, things are lining up. I think I can connect with people. And then the courage to, whenever I was paired with an opponent, hey, you have like 10 minutes and you're going to win. Okay, you can do whatever you want. Is it okay if I talk at the beginning? How long do you need? 2.5 minutes. And then you'll let me beat you up for 7 minutes, 7.5, and you win? Yeah, is that okay? It sure is. I knew I could connect with the audience like that. And that would be at least something to keep me around. But it was like in that moment of serendipity that I shook the regret of listening to someone else and began to be more authentic.
Just to put a cap on that, John, when you weren't connecting or resonating with audiences, how did you feel that? How did you know that and recognize? And I know you're going to say, Tom, have you ever watched? Don't you see what goes on, etc. But there's also people who move through things with their own mission, and they have blind spots and blinders, etc. Is there a moment that indicated to you, wow, this is not working?
So I think once you hit a good golf shot, you know what a bad one feels like. So
bingo.
They brought me out in Chicago with Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is a Hall of Famer, incredible superstar, and he issued like an open challenge, and I answered it. Ruthless
aggression.
Chicago's always a hot crowd, and like we really had a hard working match, I guess I could say. My takeaway from that was I got to hear what the noise sounded like. My first time out, I hit a good golf shot. So anything that didn't match that wasn't exactly a good golf shot. And you don't really need to be an expert to know that, this isn't the noise that I heard the first time I went out. And there's just as many people here, and I used to watch all the matches. So like I would stay around for the main event, and you could hear the noise. Like, it's not people dressed as empty chairs, they just don't care about me. You know, so being humble enough to understand that, like, there's not cheering for this, there's not buying it. So I tried everything to stay within the lane of my character, so to speak. But I just needed a reset. And Stephanie was gracious enough to be like, man, should try that.
The old man's got a plan. He's chilling in the building. Did I tell you I'm like light beer? I taste great and I'm less filling.
And in a very risk-free environment, I started with a small vignette on SmackDown.
With the hair.
And this is what people don't understand.
Oh my
moved
God.
to a Saturday broadcast.
The hair was so funny.
It's called Velocity, which is like just a show, a content show with it's not loose, it's not through lines like Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah.
It's just like, here's WWE.
Oh,
I went out there saying, like, this is my show, I'm running it. Like, I took ownership of the brand. I'm like, man, I'm going to build this brand through the lyrics I was saying. And, like, instead of begrudgingly saying, like, I'm on Velocity or I'm on the entry-level show or the weekend show, I was like, man, let's go. Saturday night's my night. And that started to spread because I did believe it. Like, if I'm only staying around and they're only going to give me Saturdays, I will take absolutely that. This is going to be a good run.
It's been more than a good run.
Yes. Yeah.
A quarter century, in essence.
Yeah.
How long does it feel like, John?
There are moments where every second feels like a month, and there are moments where 25 years feels like a second. Yeah.
The latter. What is a moment where the decades feel like a flash?
When you ask, like, hey, it's been a quarter century, how long does it feel like? And now I'm forced to reflect on all of those memories. And, like, there are just gaps that I can't even, like, I don't know what happened in 2006, you know, like, but if I have some time and if I have a little bit of guidance of, like, hey, in 2006 you had I remember that. That's where, like, the decades feel like seconds.
Why do you think, John, you were able to be that face and endure the way that you had in what is a rapidly shrinking attention span where everybody loves the new or everybody hates it, whatever it might be? Why have you endured?
I want to try to get your question correct. I'm kind of aging out now as our attention span gets smaller. So
Do you really believe you're aging out?
Listen, I chose to retire.
Yeah.
Like, I made a promise to the WWE that I would not stick around when my skills can't match the product. And they can't. Like, I'm 48. I my 40-yard time has gone like this. Like, I can't match up with the products now. And that's okay, because what I do isn't who I am. And the realization of that has helped me come to like, no, let these guys have it now, because they're really good. And all I would be doing is a disservice to the consumer if I go any point beyond this.
If there was a point at which you realized, this is it, this is my last year, what was it?
The fact that I thought I was going to have this year completely off, and I was willing, like, so for the longest I've been kind of a part-time piece, and sometimes I come back just to deliver the opening monologue, like, no kidding. And that is the toughest spot in what we do, to come out and for 15 to 20 minutes tell the audience what they're going to get, and then not deliver anything else. Like, not have a confrontational war of words, not have any physicality, just show up with the equity you've built, hoping they enjoy, and have to go through like 16 talking points, somehow weaving in the energy of the crowd, not killing the house for the match that's about to follow you. Like, it's a very, very tough spot. So I can kind of see the writing on the wall with like, oh, we need you to come back into this thing. We want you to open the show. Oh, of course you do. I will do it, but okay, you're right. And then the situations where I can't go, and just looking at that calendar, like me being 48. So I thought I would have this year with minimal commitments. The next hurdle was selling this idea to the people who would buy it. And that's not the ticket buyer, that's the WWE. So I had to sit down with them and present with them, hey, I know this is kind of catching you off guard, but months in advance, this is what I was thinking. Do you think this is a viable business model? Is it something you'd want to do? And if so, how can I be useful? And they're like, oh, are you kidding me? This is great. Yeah. And we kind of went from there. And I know my lens through what WWE is like 220 dates a year, 5 dates a week, a different town every night. The WWE, in my lens, depending on who you ask, they'll give you a different answer. They have shifted from being a live event-driven company to a content company who does extremely great live events, but it's all to produce content. In doing that, they've realized that they can keep their talent healthier if they work them less. And if it ain't on media, there's very little yield. So let's do stuff like this, and we can capture the moments and broadcast it to the world. So when I was like, hey, I want the whole year off to do one last finale. I want to do 200 dates. I think I can manage that. That face is what what I got from when I pitched my idea to WWE. I wanted to do 200 dates.
You wanted to do 200 days?
Yeah, just to say goodbye to everybody. Like, I wanted to try to go everywhere from Perth, Australia to Mid-Hudson Civic Center to, like, you name it. I wanted to go everywhere I've been to just say thank you to everybody. And the WWE came back and was like, no, we only need 36. And that's when I was like, oh man, I think I can balance this and some other stuff. Are you guys okay with me running in 2 lanes? Yeah. We said, we sure are. We would just like you for this block of time. So it worked out great. And just it was also a great exercise. And just because I think it's good doesn't mean that's what we're doing. I had this whole, I came to them with pitch decks and specs and like, this is what I think the projected revenues are. And like, not just talking WWE story out of my butt. Like, hey, I think this is a good business plan. And they're like, that's not our business. Okay, I'm just going to torch that plan. They said, this is our business. Would you like to do this? I said, yeah, that'd be great. Is it okay if I can balance some stuff? I said, yeah, sure. And what a great exercise. And just because you think you have a good idea doesn't mean it's a good idea. It means you think it's a good idea. But it got us to here, and this is a pretty cool spot to be in.
What do you think will be the hardest part of stopping? You've said why you're stopping.
Yeah.
What do you believe will be the hardest part of stopping?
I don't think they'll.
It presumes there is one. The question.
I don't think so. I don't think there is one. Yeah. I think once, like, man, like, we're all gonna go, you know? And I think I address that all the time. And I think once you address that, once you realize that you're mortal and you don't put yourself on some fictitious timeline that I'm gonna try to do my best to live not to go tomorrow, but we're all gonna go. And I don't get to choose what time I go.
But the difference, John, is great artists and athletes and performers. This is not my original thought.
Okay.
They die twice.
Okay.
They die when a career ends, and then they die with the rest of us.
Okay, so let's volley that around for a second.
What's your reaction to that thought?
I think that's, I think something like that might indeed happen if the creative or the performer or the athlete thinks that is all that they are. So if that is me in totality, and I'm not allowed to be me anymore, yeah, sure, that's your mortality. I have to shed this skin and be someone else. I love this. I'm as passionate about this as anybody. But this isn't me. This isn't all of me. I have tons of curiosity in my life. Like, without this, without economic satisfaction, I'm not gonna go. If the phone doesn't ring tomorrow, I still have so much curiosity in my life. And I have so much joy, so much love, and so many things to be grateful for.
I'm sorry.
So I'll just start doing that. Like, that will be me.
Never is a big ass word, John.
It sure is.
It's a big word.
It is.
So sitting here right now, the year ends, never come back, never be a part of it, never be in the ring.
So the last part is the true part. I will be an ambassador to the WWE. I'm already signed on for another 5 years, of which I was like, please, as long as you can do it. I would like to be in this family as an employee, as a contributing part for as long as I can.
But the ring,
physical activity, 100%, and I very rarely speak in absolutes because you never know. I do know in this case. This is why I can speak in absolutes, because I don't want to let the people that I made a promise to down. And I think by setting the standard that this can be something successful, it also can help superstars face their mortality to not have to die twice. Like, hey, if you have some time to think about it, you have to plan this long lead. So I'm planning this 9 months before the first show in Intuit Dome, which means I have 9 months to think about all this. And everybody's asking, like, what's it feel like? Like, I'm good. I'm good because I had 9 months to plan the idea to pitch it. Now I have 9 months to think about it. You don't have to die twice. And since I got here, since I started performing at a high level, I promised everybody that, like, man, when I miss a step, I'm gone. So if I break that promise, you can like me or hate me as a performer, but that I would do that more for me than anybody else. Never again. And another thing is, there are people spending hard-earned money on these events. And I do not fault multiple farewell tours of musicians. I do not fault that. That's their choice. I'm not gonna head fake somebody like that. And that's just my lane that I walk in. Neither one of them is wrong. That's my recipe for chicken soup. I'm okay with it. But I want somebody to be like, man, this was the last time he was in London. And that's it. And I like that.
The heel turn.
Okay.
When did it first begin to take shape?
Okay, so what I'm hearing with this question is, hey, you're in the middle of a really suspenseful TV show right now. Can I have some spoilers? You won't get them from me, man. This is what I promise you, and I try to be a man of my word so we can shake on it. I would love to sit down with you again when all this is over, because we have talked for a majority of the time about cool philosophical stuff, which I could talk for hours about, and I will answer that question, but not in the middle of the season.
Okay.
How's that?
More than fair. More than fair. We love dynasties. We also love rivalry. Oh, go ahead.
I don't know, man. I'll let you finish the thought.
No, please.
Do we? I think...
What's your thought on dynasties?
So I think if it's your team or if it's your person, there's not a better time. But that is a small segment of the greater audience. In the National Football League, there's a lot of teams. But there's one team that wins all the time, and everybody else is pissed off.
What value does dynasty bring to an overall franchise or endeavor, a league?
That's hard to say.
Okay.
It's hard to say if it's good or it's bad, and I think that's just long-term data.
Okay,
It's hard to say.
Okay, I'd also suggest rivalry is a very powerful engine in anything we see where performers or athletes compete, right? Whether it's Drake and Lamar, or whether it's the Dodgers and the Yankees.
Sure. Surprised you didn't say Red Sox and Yankees. I'm so old.
What would you define as your rival?
I want to word this in the right way. The entity. Because therein lies the challenge. You use your performers and the matchups to create something interesting.
The Randy
That's where
Punk,
I think WWE has
Styles
an
Edge
over pure sport. Because one team plays well against one team doesn't make one team hate one team. There's a lot more into the Boston-New York rivalry than just teams winning and losing. You begin to hate the culture of New York or the culture of Boston, how they drive, how they talk. They eat their hot dogs like this. We eat our hot dogs like that. Like, it becomes much more. We just continue to try and try again to get our audience invested in, I'm going to compete against you. We know that. Here's why I don't like you. And here's why I need to do this. And we pull a lot from sport, but we also pull a lot from drama. And we have all those tools. So my biggest rivalry, in kind of paraphrasing and using the word challenge, is the entity, the arena. They're the biggest superstar we have.
This is not even though I'm going to mention this name next, it's not presumptive in any way. How would you describe your relationship with The Rock?
That is timeline dependent. That's a great way for me to describe it. But honestly, so I'll dive into that too. The fact that it's been such a long timeline. So the first moment I saw The Rock was when I was working the front desk at Gold's Gym in Venice in 2000. Because the wrestlers used to come in and work out at Gold's Venice. So I just asked him for a picture. And somewhere I have a picture of me with a blonde flat top. And me and The Rock, arm in arm. Like, me in my nutrition club stores polo. Like, hey, and Rocky in his sunglasses. Like, hey. That's the start of my timeline with The Rock. And it goes up until now. So when I say it's timeline dependent, I think that's great. Yes, we have had rough roads, and man, we have had some beautiful scenics. I'm grateful for the fact that we've been connected for 25 years. Because that means there's a valuable connection there. If it was just a picture and move on, man, he gave me a great moment. I'm sure it wouldn't be one that he'd remember. But it's so much more than that. And regardless of my perspective or his perspective of our relationship, We each have one, and it spans a long period of time. And I think that's important in describing that connection.
What's one thing you learned from him, and perhaps he learned from you?
Ooh. So I will answer them both. In me describing how I made someone better, that's up to them.
Understood.
What I learned, that's a great one. I can't tell you what he learned because that's up to him. I learned excellence, absolute excellence. I learned what a good golf shot feels like when you go out and make 60 of them and hand in your scorecard. That's what I learned. I learned the noise every time. Even when in your heart of hearts, maybe he thought he could have given more, the noise is still there. There's not a moment we shared without the noise. And that's very rare when you get paired with somebody that you always have that. There's usually always some dead air. Not with him.
If you weren't doing this, John, what do you think you'd be doing?
Probably be in a installation in Germany in a uniform. Right now, either doing push-ups under somebody's command or having a nice office. one of those things. I honestly think that I was built pretty good for military life. And the good thing is I got to discover that on my own terms of like, hey, these are my strengths, and I still do love uniformity. I love schedule. I love early rise and get after it. I love to still work out. I still model a lot of my values from what they preach. I think I would have done okay over there. Okay enough so them not to send me packing. And that's an institution where you can do a few and get out. Or if you're really passionate about it, they'll have you as long as.
Hold on, guys. We have like 20 seconds in this game. I'm gonna quickly turn to this game real quick. Look at the score. I love my Eagles, 19-16. So, okay, well they're having a timeout, so we're gonna have an ad. So we're gonna go back to this right now.
I think I would have done that.
I love asking this question to, again, accomplished people, and I've had the chance to ask it to everybody from Serena to Tiger to Saban to, I've been fortunate to do
Sweet
that.
name drop.
I know, and I'll come down and pick them back up, and Cena will be one of the name drops that I now include. What's a piece of criticism that stayed with you?
That's a really good question. So to be non-specific and more general, because I just went through the Rolodex of everything.
Hold on. I just went through the Rolodex of everything. What does that mean?
So to try to, I always search for takeaways, right?
Okay. I'm gonna go back to this game. There's literally 20 seconds left in the game. 15 seconds. Damn, they're both in a timer every time. 15 seconds left in this game.
So now 3rd down and 1. You're without a timeout. The Chargers obviously have to be very careful. You've got to mark the boundary. If you complete this in play, you could be hard pressed to get up.
19-16, bro. They just keep throwing it, bro. They keep throwing it. That's the problem. I'm not talking about. I mean, I'm not rooting for the Chargers, but they just keep throwing it. They're getting stressed. They're getting nervous that they're gonna lose, which they are. They're not even close to. 40 seconds. They're not gonna do it. It's game over right now. You're not gonna do it.
Dicker has the highest field goal percentage in NFL history at just under 94%.
We're in fucking overtime.
He is 4 for 4 tonight. And his career inside 50, which we showed you earlier, is amazing. 101 of 103.
Just so stupid.
Here he is pregame while the SC.
Go back to the interview.
Because a lot of people don't know how to articulate what they're really trying to say. A lot of times you get feedback in this industry. We have what we call rules, and those rules exist simply so you can just be your best. But a lot of them are taken as bureaucratic rules, and I'm the only one to be like, I'm not doing that because I know why it's in place. This is why it's in place. You want me to be my best out there? That doesn't make sense to me right now. You're just reading off of a statement. I'm going out there to do something else. So in trying to sift through all the collective feedback that I've been given over the years,
A piece of criticism.
a piece of criticism or a lasting through line, is that the best you can do? I think it sums up every piece of criticism, every through line, from
1 period, 10 minutes each.
criticism I have on screen to playing football to getting chastised by that academic counselor who brought me into their office. Like, is that the best you can do? And when the answer was yes, it wasn't criticism, it was acceptance. But it's almost like I could answer my own question. And it was asked to either say, there have been some great moments when, is that the best you can do? Yes. Then let it go. Lighten your backpack. You don't have to carry it with you because all I can ask for is all you got. But there's also been some defining moments where that's been asked, where it's like, nah, I got more in the tank and I got to be better.
One that you would share beyond the high school story.
Yeah, man, the audience, their feedback. And the cool thing is you don't have to go fishing around to get somebody to pull this out of you. The you can't wrestle chance. Because I would do the same 5 moves every night and win all the time. And what I hear from the audience is I'm seeing other performers do these fantastic things. And then at the end of the night, I see you do 5 moves and win because I'm in the through line of the story, setting up a dynasty. And if it ain't your guy, dynasties are tough. So I've learned that. And that was the biggest criticism from the audience of, if you're my guy, like, no, dude, this guy gets his ass kicked. He never stops. Like, he gets thrashed out there and somehow manages to find another way. Yeah, but I see this performer and this performer and this performer, and their moves are better and they look better. And so in hearing that a lot, I just began to do more stuff. And it looked janky and unorthodox, as we would say. But I listened. And I went back to wrestling school halfway through my career. You know, went to newer performers. It was like, what do you think I'll be good at? Can you teach me some stuff? And newer performers like Sami Zayn, like Kevin Owens, like AJ Styles when he first came.
When you were at the top, you did this.
CM Punk, like, of course. Teach me some stuff. What can I do better? How can I make you look great? That's always my lead. And what can you teach me? So, and that's from the audience, chanting at the top of their lungs, you can't wrestle. And I know it was just like our audience will continue to lean in until they get you. And it didn't get me. Like, I didn't come back and like, where do they know I can wrestle? No, I'll try to be better. And I'll try to be better and not make it be a hard reset. I'll try to be better and be my authentic self. So a vehicle to do that was like the United States Open.
52. Now we're 6. 14. 2 now we're 6. So now we're 12, 6, 41 minus 14, 52. So 51 minutes, 49 seconds. Alright guys, so I'm gonna end this live stream. I am getting really tired. I have school tomorrow. I have finals tomorrow, which I don't think would have been a good time to live stream tonight, and be all the way to 11:33 because I got freaking like finals tomorrow for biology only. That's it for this semester. Then I have nothing else for the whole semester after that. There's like a week and a half left of this semester, and then we have Christmas break. Thank God. I will be finishing this John Cena interview on a live stream um, tomorrow morning before school, so it'll be really early in the morning. I'm gonna try and wake up around 5:30, 5:45, live stream this interview, and then I'm gonna after school I'm gonna live stream the CVV John Cena interview. Plus, I'm gonna live stream NXT tomorrow night. It's gonna be a long time. It's also gonna be doing chores and all that around the house. So yeah, I'm gonna have finals tomorrow and all that. Gonna be a busy day. Basketball practice on Wednesday, so will not be live streaming AEW Dynamite. Will not be live streaming TNA Impact on Thursday because I have baseball practice. I won't be. I will not. I will live stream Friday Night SmackDown on Friday, but late because I have homecoming on that day. On Friday, I have homecoming, and technically, I'll be with my friends, hanging out. I don't have anyone to go out with, but I have my friends to go out with. Not like that. I'm not gay, but just hang out over there in homecoming and do whatever, hang out for a while. I'll live stream SmackDown right after I come back to my house from homecoming late, and then obviously there's gonna be a big live stream on Saturday night because I'm gonna be live streaming Saturday night's main event of John Cena's final match in the emotional moment, December 13th. I'm not ready for this. I'm literally gonna cry the first time I ever cried of a WWE superstar retiring, and that his name is John Cena. For the love of God, I would love for The Rock to come in Saturday night's main event, interrupt the Cena and say, you sold my soul to me. You will never retire. I'll see you WrestleMania 42. Hope he extends his retirement to the WrestleMania 42. Again, we'll finish this interview tomorrow morning. CVV John Cena interview later in the afternoon. NXT live stream this afternoon as well. Tomorrow afternoon. So please follow me on all my social media. Link in the description. Link in the pinned comment. Go to patreon.com/GDB2189. We post videos over there that we don't post here, but it'll get blocked due to copyright. So go check it out. Link in the description. Link in the pinned comment. I have a new format now that I'm going to be starting to do on December 13th for Cena's final match at Saturday Night Main Event, which the new format is Kick. I have a new social media platform which is Kick, so I'm gonna put that as a link as well in all my descriptions and in the link in the pinned comments as well. Just like my other social medias like Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, Twitch, and everything else. So Kick will be added. It's I'm gonna live stream more than just YouTube and Twitch for Cena's final match. But I'm gonna have a lot of people there. Some of my friends, one of my cousins, my parents watching it. A lot of people watching it. I'm gonna have the couch around their TV. Like the TV is gonna be like right here, and y'all gonna the camera's gonna be facing all us. Gonna be a couple devices, like one for YouTube, one for Twitch. Like I have my PC for a couple devices, then one for Kick, one for Insta, one for Facebook. It's gonna be something like that. Um, so yeah, I'll put on my community post. I'll have Kick as my format as well, and I'll be linking in the description, linking in the comment, like my other social medias. So yeah, I think that's all that should be covered for this week. Let's see here. Do we have any Lakers games? Lakers schedule we have on Wednesday, which I won't be live streaming, and also it's late at night. It's at 10 p.m. That's a hard pen. That's a hard no. Sorry, Lakers. To any 76ers games, which they're playing on Friday, which I also won't be live streaming. Sorry. The dogs are done for the season. Well, they're not done. They're gonna play again soon. Fuck. Chargers 22 and 219. You see it here. Crap. Right here. Yeah. They better not win. Their next game is on Sunday against the Raiders. Then Commanders, Bills, and then Commanders again. Do we have okay? Let me see Georgia Bulldogs. The next game is the Sugar Bowl, and I don't know when, I don't know where it is. Alright, so whoever wins between Tulane and Ole Miss on December 20th will face Georgia on January 1st, and then whoever wins that will face either Ohio State or the game between Miami and Texas A&M on January 8th at the VRBO Fiesta Bowl, and then January 19th at the finals of the college football playoffs, which is the CFP National Championship Press by AT&T. All right, I'm gonna done yapping. I have finals tomorrow, so I'll see y'all tomorrow night, tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. So yeah, etc. Vice versa, etc. So see y'all. Have a good night.